Haunted highway encounter. I was driving home late one night, the highway stretching endlessly under the dim glow of the moon. The comforting hum of my old radio was my only companion. Suddenly, the static that had been a constant background noise shifted, forming fragmented words that sent chills down my spine. It wasn't just random noise anymore, it was a voice, a desperate cry from the depths of the past. I turned the volume up, heart pounding, as an eerie tale began to unfold, pulling me into a story I never wished to hear. The voice spoke of a forgotten tragedy, a life extinguished in the shadows, whispering for justice from beyond the grave. As I continued driving, the voice became more coherent, describing a small town I had never heard of, yet it felt strangely familiar. I could almost picture its abandoned streets and the old factory looming at its edge, a relic of a bygone era. The voice's tale was of a young woman who had vanished without a trace, swallowed by the darkness of that very factory. The townspeople had moved on, her memory faded into obscurity, but she remained trapped, her spirit restless and angry. I felt an inexplicable tug, as if I was meant to unravel her story, to bring her justice. The next day, compelled by an invisible force, I found myself driving to that very town, the radio's static still echoing in my mind. The factory stood just as the voice had described, its windows shattered, walls crumbling with neglect. As I stepped inside, the air grew colder, and I felt a presence, a watchful gaze urging me onward. I followed the whispers, each step heavier than the last, until I reached a hidden room, untouched by time. There, among the dust and decay, lay a collection of letters, each revealing a piece of the puzzle, a story of betrayal and greed that had silenced the young woman all those years ago. With trembling hands, I pieced together her final moments, the injustice that had been buried with her. As I read the last letter, the radio in my car suddenly crackled to life, the voice now clear and resolute. She thanked me, her presence lifting, leaving behind an overwhelming sense of peace. But as I turned to leave, the factory doors slammed shut, an icy wind sweeping through the halls. The static returned, a new voice rising from the chaos, whispering a new name, a new tragedy, pulling me back into the darkness.